Here's a recap from day 22 of testimony in the Diddy trial. Right off the bat, the lawyers spent a lot of time in the judge's chambers this morning debating different pieces of evidence and whether or not they could be used in the trial, as well as debating names and testimony facts and whether or not certain things could be redacted or not in today's testimony. One of those pieces of evidence was an audio recording from December of 2023. The judge ruled that the defense could not play the audio recording between Diddy and Jane, in which Diddy tells Jane that he did not know how she felt about the hotel nights and that she should have told him. The prosecution said that at this point Cassie's lawsuit was already filed, so that Diddy could have been recording these messages to build a false narrative in anticipation of something like this being put into evidence, so the judge ruled against the defense being able to play that recording. However, the judge said the defense could still ask questions about that during cross-examination. The defense also asked that the name of the rapper as well as Jane's friends be released, in which she testified about a trip to Las Vegas in January of 2024 while her and Diddy were on a break. They went to Las Vegas to celebrate the rapper's significant other's birthday. She said that while there, they were in a hotel room and she noticed an entertainer that her and Diddy had used, and there was a freak-off essentially happening. The defense argued to use those names, and the judge ruled against that, saying that that did not pertain to the charges against Diddy, so that would not be released. So when Jane returned to the stand, the defense asked her about that recording from December of 2023 that they were not allowed to play. She said that after that, Diddy had encouraged her to be more communicative, and she said that during that time she was under fire for things in her own personal life as well. The defense then asked some questions about that January 2024 trip. They asked Jane if the person that she traveled with was an icon in the music industry and somebody who was close to Diddy, who she then agreed that both of those statements were correct. I have some theories about who that rapper is, but it wasn't confirmed or anybody said anything, so I'm going to keep that to myself. So Jane said that she knew that the entertainer that her and Diddy used, whose name is Antoine, knew the rapper and his significant other because it came up in conversation before. However, she was surprised to see him at dinner when she got to Vegas. And then while they were in the hotel room and he was performing with another woman, the rapper and his significant other approached Jane and asked if she knew anybody else in the lifestyle. She then recommended another male entertainer named Sly to them. Sly is the person who had the video of her and him on his phone and threatened to release it and tried to extort her for $10,000. She said at the time she thought he was a reliable source and recommended him to them. She says that when they approached her asking her if she knew anybody else in that lifestyle, she wasn't sure if they suspected that her and Diddy were involved in that lifestyle or if they just got that energy from her. When she returned from that trip and she began communicating with Diddy again in February of 2024, she says that he threw her an extravagant birthday and then it ended with a hotel night, and it was at this point that she realized that these hotel nights would be a forever thing with Diddy. She talked a little bit about the Cassie lawsuit. She said that after that lawsuit was filed, he became more loving toward her. She also said that she was surprised when that video about the hotel incident came out because by this point, Diddy had never been physical with her or seen him like that at all. It wasn't until June of 2024 when she said he got physical with her for the first time. They were together at her house in Los Angeles that Diddy was paying for. She said that they began arguing about another woman that Diddy was seeing, and then things started to escalate. She says that she went and hid in her master bathroom and then closet, and he kicked down the doors to those rooms. She said that he knocked her down and then put her in a chokehold to the point where she almost couldn't breathe. She was able to escape the house at some point. She said she hid outside for a few hours before returning to the home and then arguing with him again. She said it got physical again. And then at one point she took his phone and called up that other woman who she began arguing with until Diddy hung up the phone. At some point during this argument and fight, she says that Diddy accused her of attacking him because of the lawsuit. She said it had nothing to do with the lawsuit and she had just reached a breaking point in their relationship. Following the altercation, Diddy wanted a hotel night, so he took Jane's phone and texted Antoine, who is the entertainer that she saw in Vegas with the unnamed rapper. Diddy noticed in the text thread, he said it was nice seeing you through mutual friends or something like that. And then later on, Diddy pulled Jane aside and accused her of going to another man's freak off. In the days following, she went to Diddy's house and they discussed breaking up. She said by July 4th she was on board with it because she saw that he was in Wyoming with another woman. She said at that point she blocked him and all of his associates, and she didn't contact him again until later that month because she saw that his mother was sick. Jane was then seeing Diddy up until his arrest. She said the last time they had a hotel night was August 2024, and she said that the last time she saw him before her arrest, things were okay between the two of them. During redirect examination, she told the prosecution that these hotel nights she put on a show and she wished she could forget all about them. When the prosecution asked her if she would give back all the money and gifts she received if it meant she never had to do a hotel night, she agreed. Jane also testified that she has no financial stake in the case or the outcome of the trial. She said that she was not being compensated for her testimony either. When she left the stand, she did something pretty unusual, and she got off the stand. She went and hugged prosecutor Maureen Comey, and then she went and hugged the defense attorney, Tini Garagos, which is pretty unusual for a witness to do. She also apparently glared at Diddy on her way out and acknowledged that she didn't want to break up with him. So that was the end of her testimony. Things were right on time because the prosecution said they wanted her off the stand by Thursday because she has an international flight to catch. The court is set to resume on Friday morning, and the prosecution said that their next witness that they will call to the stand is a special agent.